yesterday we left off with the introduction of Pompey capturing Jerusalem in 63 BC. We're going to take up right where we left off. So fortunes of Palestine became tied up with those of Rome. During those uncertain years, a new dynasty was arising in the person of Antipater, an Idumean from the ancient kingdom of Edom, just south of Judea, who was astute enough to support Julius Caesar when he was in need of help in Alexandria, Egypt in 48 BC. And then we have the introduction of a vocabulary word, ethnarch. Ethnarch is a local governor or prince, in this case, Palestine. So in 47 BC, Antipater appointed his son, I looked it up, Faziel. I think it's Faziel. I'll look it up again later, see if I'm right. Antipater appointed his son Faziel, governor of Jerusalem, and another son, Herod, as governor of Caesar on the Ides of March in March 15, 44 BC, threw the Middle East into turmoil. Two factions were vying for power. We have Cassius and Brutus against Anthony and Octavian, who would later be Caesar Augustus. Okay, so after Cassius and Brutus were disposed of, Anthony and Octavian fought for supremacy, with Octavian winning out. Okay, so the Parthians had made Antigonus II the ruler of Palestine in 40 BC, but in that same year, the Roman Senate had made Herod the king of Judea. So now we have war followed after a stubborn defense. War followed, and after a stubborn defense, Jerusalem fell in 37 BC to the Romans. Herod was now the sole ruler of the territory. I just remembered I was supposed to take my hair down for this. Oh well. Side note. So we have the fall of Jerusalem in 37 BC to the Romans, and Herod was now the sole ruler of the territory. When Octavian became the supreme ruler, or Caesar, of the Roman world after defeating Anthony in the Battle of Actium on September 2nd, 31 BC, Herod switched his allegiance to Octavian. He was accepted by him as a loyal subject in 30 BC and confirmed as the king of Judea. That's 30 BC. Herod had married, now here I think we have a typo in the text because it says Mary Am with an M at the end. Changes you made may not be saved. I think I'm still alive. I did that, or I'm just talking to myself. I don't know. So I think we have a typo in the book because it has an M at the end of Mary Am, but I Googled it. I did a little bit of research today, and I found out that the name has an N at the end, Mary Amney. So we're going to go with Mary Amney, what I found, because this might be a typo in the book. So Herod had married Mary Amney. This was his second wife, according to my research. And Mary Amney was Hyrcanus II's granddaughter to legitimate his claim to royalty. But he was also profoundly in love with her, according to the text. Now, just a side note, this is not in the text, but a little bit of research I did. Mary Amney was not just anybody. She was a Jewish princess. She was the granddaughter of Hyrcanus II, and she was part of that Maccabean or Hasmonean dynasty, according to my research. That is not in the text. We're going to go back to the text now. So, profoundly in love with her. He didn't just marry her to legitimate his claim to royalty. See, he was not Jewish. So that's Herod's little dirty secret, is he was the king of the Jews. He was not actually Jewish. So anyways, back to the text. That was not text. This is back to the text. His jealousy caused him to listen to court gossip started by his sister. Eventually, here's some family drama, right? Eventually, he executed Mary Amney and her mother, Alexandra. He had already had Aristobulus II and Hyrcanus II killed. After his ill-advised murder of Mary Amney, parentheses, she was actually innocent, Herod's none too stable mental condition deteriorated. His reign was filled with political intrigue, plots, murders, wars, brutality until his death in April 4 BC. In spite of his many obvious shortcomings, Herod accomplished some good for his territory. He could be quite generous when the occasion demanded it. He was often sensitive to the religious feelings of the Jews and was a master builder of cities. He rebuilt the temple in Jerusalem, built a port city at Caesarea, beautified and refortified other important cities, and kept Rome satisfied. So, yeah, side note, that's the thing. Like, Rome had to be happy. Okay, so he was able to schmooze a little with Rome and keep them satisfied. That's side note. Back to the book. Thus providing a stability Israel would not have otherwise known. Herod died an agonizing death, perhaps from colon cancer, universally unmourned. Quotations, a man of great barbarity towards all equally, and a slave to his passions. That is from Josephus. Josephus's Antiquities 17.8.1. Again, that's an extra biblical historian. It is ironic that during the reign of this brutal, inhumane ruler, the Prince of Peace was born. The end. 7 minutes on the dot today. Yeah, ready to go home. See you guys later. Bye. Bye. And